Good afternoon, everyone. We would like to welcome our graduates, families and friends here on what is a very special day for you, your Macquarie University graduation ceremony. Firstly, I would like to ask you all to please ensure that your mobile phone has been switched off. There are a couple of items I need to run through before the ceremony starts. Firstly, you are all welcome to take photographs during the ceremony. However, we do ask that you remain in your seats so that you do not impede the view of the other guests. Under no circumstances should anyone stand in the centre aisle or approach the stage. Please note that this ceremony will be streamed live on the Macquarie University YouTube channel. Should we have a situation that requires us to evacuate the building, please follow the instructions of our security staff. There are 4 exits from the graduation hall, 1 in each corner of the building, 2 in the back corners and 2 in the front. You will also find our safety information on the back page of your program. Plaques, frames and photography services are available in the atrium next to the refreshments marquee. If you have pre-ordered a frame or plaque, please make sure you collect it there today. In a moment, the Chancellor of Macquarie University, the Honourable Michael Egan AO, accompanied by the academic procession, will enter the graduation hall. When the procession has arrived on the stage, Advance Australia Fair will be performed and you are invited to join in the singing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the academic procession.
Please be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite Mr. Chris Tobin, the representative of the Darug people, to offer the traditional welcome to country.
Thank you. Warami Nalawa. Hello and welcome to the lands of the Wallamedigal. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to thank the university for their acknowledgement of us and for the invitation to welcome you here this afternoon. That acknowledgement is important to our people and much appreciated, particularly by our elders. Education is important in our culture too. Knowledge meant survival, and our elders are traditionally accorded great respect for their accumulated wisdom and experience. My family descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabrongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. So he sent his daughter Maria into the Native Institution, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie himself, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. She studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and ultimately secure some land for herself and a family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them and it became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown gets its name from. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here today. And with good reason. Your success is our success. Your advancement is our advancement. Now that was probably better understood in traditional times when camp groups were smaller and clans abided by strict sharing laws, meant that the food that you caught and brought back, you just got distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all. Your efforts literally nourished the rest of the community. And you in turn were looked after by them, of course. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we do it right. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly lived well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to recommend them to yourselves as a model or a benchmark on how good to expect our lives today. You see, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 200 years ago, he described the people he encountered at Botany Bay as one of the happiest people he'd ever met in the world. They had nothing, he wrote, but the tools that they carried. They were naked, they made shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down, and what else they do? God love them. There's actually, I love sharing this with you because when I was growing up, the education we got, Aboriginal culture gets portrayed as a primitive culture. I want to overturn that for you, okay? We had a culture, and remember, this is how people normally lived. There was no rich and poor. There were no homeless people. Everyone was born with land, or with rights to the land. We had no jails, there were no armies, right? Like I say, Captain Cook described them one of the happiest people he'd met, and yet they owned nothing. They carried their culture with them. I guess I love sharing that because the knowledge of that hopefully expands our idea of ourselves as a human race. That we can live on the planet without trashing it. It's an exciting concept. But like I say, this was normal life for our people. People drinking out of the creeks here for 20,000 years. And there's no reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. So graduate, I would say expect great things from your life. There's a lot of magic in the world. And I also would encourage you to follow the promptings of that beautiful spirit within you. It's got you here this far, it'll get you through the rest of it. That together, we can put together a country that's worthy of ourselves and our children. We all got our part to play. I'll do mine now by winding up and letting you graduate. Just want to say congratulations to all of you and all the best in our collective futures. Yano, welcome to country.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to now introduce the Chancellor of Macquarie University, the Honourable Michael Egan AO.
Thank you, Chris Tobin, for your welcome to country. Well, graduands, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and we do have a few tiny tots with us this afternoon. I can see a few. Usually we also have some babes in arms, although I can't this afternoon see any or hear any, but I'm sure there are some hidden there. And what is certain is that in an hour and a half graduation ceremony, they're sure to get a bit impatient with proceedings and make a noise and perhaps cry. If they do, please do not feel that you have to take them outside. They're most welcome to stay. In fact, we prefer them to stay because we discovered a long time ago that a child who makes a noise during a graduation ceremony is back within 25 years to take out their first PhD. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're also honoured to have with us two Vice-Chancellors of the Universities of Melbourne and Monash. Sitting behind me, Professor Glyn Davis, the Vice-Chancellor of Melbourne University, and Professor Margaret Gardner, the Vice-Chancellor of Monash University. Now, of course, these are two institutions of learning and research which are renowned around the world, two of the world's great universities. And they are quite rightly regarded as the best universities in Victoria, just as Macquarie University is rightly regarded as the best university in the whole of Australia. So I welcome Professor Davis and Professor Gardner. Well, it's my very great privilege as Chancellor of Macquarie University to preside at this very important ceremony today. First, I welcome all of our graduands, and we have quite a number of you this afternoon, and I do hope that today will be a very happy and memorable occasion for all of you. But it will only be a happy and memorable occasion if you all relax and enjoy the day. Now, some of you look quite nervous. You look as though you're going into the exam room rather than here to collect your degree. So please just relax, sit back and make sure that you enjoy the proceedings and the rest of the day, because you deserve to take pride, great pride, in your graduation. Completing a degree is never easy. You need an intelligent and inquiring mind. You need determination and perseverance, and you need to make many sacrifices. So welcome and congratulations to each and every one of you. Today I also want to welcome, and especially welcome, those of you who are sitting on the other side of the hall or behind our graduands and who are here as the invited guests of our graduands. Because if you think about it for a moment or two, you've all obviously done well. The very fact that you're here, the fact that you've been invited by one of our graduands to share one of the great days of their lives is proof positive that you've been very important in their lives and in the successes that we celebrate today. So mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, cousins, sons and daughters, grandmothers and grandfathers, friends, husbands and wives, partners, boyfriends, girlfriends, lovers or whatever you are, congratulations and thank you for celebrating this great occasion with us. And I don't want you to think that observing today's graduation is the end of your role. I have another important service for you to perform for our newest graduates, as they will soon become. I want you to make sure that the degrees they receive today are never ever put in a bottom drawer, but are always proudly displayed in a position of prominence. In other words, if our graduands are too self-effacing to proclaim their own success, you make sure that you do it for them. Now, the ceremony that we're about to participate in is one of the world's oldest social rituals. For centuries, graduates have been donning robes just like the ones our graduands are wearing today and participating in ceremonies just like this one. Indeed, there are some 50 universities in the world which can trace their history back more than 500 years. Now, Macquarie is relatively young. We celebrated our 50th Jubilee year just last year. We proudly take our name from Australia's greatest colonial governor, Governor Lachlan Macquarie. a man whose greatness and achievements were never acknowledged by his contemporaries, but only by history. Those of us who went to school in New South Wales learned that Macquarie was a great builder, but his greatest legacy had nothing to do with bricks and mortar. His greatest legacy was the ethos he established, much to the chagrin of the British authorities, of an egalitarian society, because it was Macquarie's insistence that in this fledgling convict colony that there be no distinction between the free and the freed that was the foundation of the Australian notion of a fair go for all. And that is the legacy that here at Macquarie University we will always aim to maintain and honour. After our first 50 years, we now have more than 150,000 Macquarie graduates living in more than 140 countries. Macquarie is a very modern and outward-looking university. We're regarded as one of Australia's leading research universities and are currently extending our research as we are our course offerings and facilities. On your way here today, you may have seen our relatively new Macquarie University Hospital, only a few years old. We're the only university with its own private hospital in the country. And as well as being used for its primary purpose of treating sick people, it's also used by the postgraduate medical students and academics in our School of Advanced Medicine. And it really is a first-rate hospital. I know by experience, because 18 months ago I was actually a patient for 3 nights, and I can assure you that the standard of care and attention is absolutely first class, especially if you're the Chancellor. We're also very proud of our relatively new library, which I think is still the only university library in Australia with an automated book retrieval system. And only last year we opened our Advanced Hearing Hub, which is a world-leading institute in hearing and language sciences. So we're looking forward and we're on the move. Here at Macquarie, we have a very clear and straightforward mission. And that mission is to transform people's lives and to improve the lives not just of our own students, but also of people all around the globe by the work and achievements of our graduates and by the fruit of our research. We want Macquarie always to be a leader in teaching and learning and a leader in the accumulation of knowledge and understanding. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. And graduands, in just a few minutes, it will be my very great honour to confer your degrees upon you and welcome you as lifelong members of that community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University. Now, graduands, it's now my pleasure to introduce our occasional speaker, Professor Bruce Doughton. Now, you'll find in your booklet that someone else was scheduled to give the occasional address, but unfortunately she's come down with a fever, and Professor Doughton has undertaken to give the occasional address in her place. Now, Professor Doughton is the Vice-Chancellor of Macquarie University. He's the 5th Vice-Chancellor of this university. He's a paediatrician, a clinical geneticist, a molecular biologist, a researcher and an academic who has served as a senior medical executive at a range of universities, healthcare institutions and consulting organisations. He's published articles on a wide range of topics in peer-reviewed academic publications and has held visiting professorial and external examiner appointments at several universities, including the University of Edinburgh, Columbia, the University of New York, the University of Tromsø, I think it is, in Norway, Hong Kong University, as well as institutions in the People's Republic of China. Professor Doughton spends much of his time outside the university in philanthropic and community engagements. He was born in the far central western New South Wales town of Ivanhoe and raised in Dubbo. He was the first in his family to go to university. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Doughton.
Chancellor, thank you, and a warm welcome to Glenn and Margaret as well for us today. Academic colleagues, graduands particularly, and members of your family and friends who are here today. Today, as you no doubt know, is April the 7th, and what a great day it is. Not only is this a great day, but it is a great date as well. This date, April the 7th, the date on which all of you hard-working and bright graduands make your transition from us to the next part of your journey in life, is indeed a great day and an interesting day in the history of man's journey through life and through accomplishment. It is a day filled and a date filled with great milestones. Today, as you go out into the world, I want to touch on 3 ideas for you, our graduands' futures. Firstly, be prepared to sometimes be carried along to a destination you cannot control. Secondly, do not be afraid to cross the bridges you encounter along the way, even if you don't know what lies ahead. And finally, be happy. And especially I urge you to find happiness in doing something for someone else along the way. Just as this date, April the 7th, is a great date and milestone for each of you, this is a day of great milestones around the world over many, many years. You might think of your time getting through your degree as akin to climbing Mount Everest, an arduous and difficult journey. Climbing Mount Everest requires training, determination, and commitment, among many other attributes. And the extreme exhilaration of success that climbers and mountaineers is akin to what you feel today. In their case, it has been helped along the way by many just like you. The climbers on Everest are helped most importantly by Sherpas, those tenacious and remarkable men who do the construction and all too often become casualties. As the result of their work, fixing lines, shuttling supplies, escorting paid climbers to the summit of Mount Everest, and dozens of other Himalayan peaks, Sherpas are exposed to the worst dangers on the mountain: rockfall, crevices, frostbite, exhaustion, and so on. The spring of the year 2013 provided another devastating string of tragedies on that mountain that illustrate its dangers. On April the 7th, this day, just 2 years ago, one Sherpa, Mingma, one of the legendary icefall doctors, responsible for securing the route through the Khimbu icefall for all of the teams on the mountain, fell into a crevasse near Camp Number 2. The ice doctors each year on that mountain lay down a series of ladders across crevices and use thin nylon line held in place by ice screws and anchors as guide ropes for the mountaineers to hold onto as they step across crevices in the ice with their ice boots on rungs of the ladders strung across. It can be a very terrifying and intimidating experience. I'm certain that many of you here today understand how Mingma must have felt going out to prepare the way forward for the mountaineers who would follow behind him, securing those crevices, the physical and mental endurance required, with no guarantee of success, and in his case, a tragic end. But yet you are here today at the summit of your own personal Everest journey, having overcome every obstacle along the way. I congratulate each of you on your achievements, and I hope that you will look back on today as a milestone in your personal and professional journey of life. Indeed, it seems that this date is inextricably linked to many interesting, sometimes humorous milestones around the world and in Australia. Yes, April the 7th is both a date in history that marks its fair share of turning points and exposures, as I say, of both interesting, humorous and significant events. In Australia, on this day in 1836, Major Thomas Mitchell, having come to Australia after serving in the British Army in the Napoleonic Wars, he came to Australia to take the position of Surveyor General for New South Wales. He left on an expedition from the Boree Station in the far west of this state with his sole purpose to prove someone else wrong. He set out to chart the course of the Darling River in the far west, which Charles Sturt had discovered some years before. Mitchell was determined to prove Charles Sturt wrong, in the latter's belief that the Darling River flowed southward towards the Murray, and Mitchell believed it must flow northwestward to wherever. And he travelled many months and covered almost 500 kilometres, only to finally have to admit that he was wrong and give over and acknowledge that Charles Sturt was correct. So part of the journey of life is about recognising our mistakes and correcting them. Before the advent of rail in the 1830s in Australia, waterways like the Darling River were the fastest and most efficient ways of transportation around the country. Having a waterway like the Darling was akin to having a purpose-built highway, but with the disadvantage you couldn't choose your destination. If you were lucky, it would sometimes take you somewhere you wanted to go before it inevitably ended up in the ocean. So my first message for the graduands today is, like the waters of the Darling River carried early Australian pioneers to destinations that they could not control, be prepared to sometimes be carried along to a destination in life that you cannot control. It's okay. You might find something so unanticipated on that journey that is far more interesting than anything that you have dreamed about if you could always control the destination. Let us turn back for a moment again to the 1800s for my second message to our newest graduates. Be ready to cross the bridges you encounter along the way, even when you can't see what's on the other side. Sometimes bridges are important in peace, and sometimes they are important in war. The Battle of High Bridge near Lynchburg, Virginia, was a very important battle fought on this day in 1865 in the American Civil War at the end of the Appomattox campaign. The Confederate cavalry fought stubbornly to secure two river bridges, these bridges joining high points in the Virginia countryside. On April 7, elements of the Union Corps came up against a rear guard trying to blow the bridges up, but they defended and they secured the wagon bridge. They were able to save that bridge and cross over it in pursuit of General Robert E. Lee and his army. Failure to destroy that bridge that day enabled the Union forces to catch up with General Lee and shortened the Civil War and which would end shortly, altering the course of history forever. Those soldiers in pursuit of General Lee did not know what they would encounter or what their fate would be when they crossed that bridge, the High Bridge. So on this date and forevermore, I urge you to be ready to cross the bridges you encounter, even if you can't see the other side. But interestingly, bridges and rivers aren't the only metaphors for travel that have an anchor in this date. As a sidebar, I note, and I'm not talking about flight or anything like that now, but that April 7 is a very important date as well. It is marked as the birth date of the internet. On this date in 1969, the first internet transfer protocols came into being, with the first message having been sent over the ARPANET, which would become the first network to use an internet transfer protocol. From computer science professor Leonard Kleinrock's laboratory at the University of California, Los Angeles, to a second network node, a single one, at Stanford Research Institute. Who could possibly have seen the other side of the bridge of creating the internet? Again, I urge you not to be afraid to go across the bridge, even though you can't see what's on the other side. And now to my final message. Find happiness, and find happiness for yourself, but in doing something for others along the way as well. It's not a difficult stretch to suggest that one of the greatest ways that eternal value can accrete to human personality is by finding happiness in that simple act of doing something for someone else. In fact, I was in New York City last year, and on the very same day I saw several examples of happiness happening or being talked about in the surrounds of someone doing something for someone else or remembrance. As I sped across Manhattan in a cab from the Upper East Side to Bryant Park, where I was going to a function, right beside the New York City Public Library, just off Fifth Avenue, I saw happiness coming out of a simple deed of service to someone else. All of a sudden, the cab came to a screeching halt. A young man, smiling, with headphones on and a skateboard under his arm, stopped the traffic. And I said to myself, worried whether I would get to my event on time, what on earth is going on here? And I started to curse under my breath, worrying I'd be late. And then I saw the young man escort a stooped elderly lady with a walking frame who was walking her dog across the busy Madison Avenue intersection. The young man looked very happy, just doing something for someone else. And the elderly lady, as she made it to the curb on the other side with her dog, just looked happy that she had made it to the other side of the road safely on a busy intersection in Manhattan. Simple, happiness arising out of service. That trip by cab across New York City had another poignant moment for me. As we drove through ponderously slow traffic around the Waldorf Hotel, gridlocked by dump trucks filled with sand, strategically placed at the curbside to blast-proof the entire Waldorf Hotel, while the President of the United States and Mrs. Obama were there as guests. My mind flashed back as we were slowed with that trucks around the hotel to the television news that I had watched in the hotel before I left. The President was in New York City to dedicate the 9/11 Museum at Ground Zero in Lower Manhattan. And his visit was the news story of the day. Reminded of the event by the blast-proofing dump trucks, my mind wandered back to one of the news clips, showing a lady of great poise at the museum's opening, with the backdrop of gently rippling water going into the earth in the giant reflecting pool in the heart of Ground Zero. And she spoke softly but with resolve. I am heartbroken that my son died in this place, but I can be happy knowing that he did it in the service of someone else. He was a firefighter. So there in one brief cab ride, milestones, tiny and momentous, both bringing happiness by service to others. An elderly lady being helped across the street by a happy young man he could do something for her, a grieving mother finding solace, personal peace, and reconciliation in her son's service to others. The Chancellor and I actually have a wonderful understanding of happiness. Anyone who knows our Chancellor will know that he is a man of high principle and has little time for bureaucracy. Now let me set the scene. I have been the Vice-Chancellor, as he indicated, for about 2.5 years, almost exactly. And when I was offered this wonderful position that involved a conversation with the Chancellor in a city hotel after the final interview, and we discussed a range of things, and the Chancellor advanced his view to me around not believing in lengthy statements of performance and KPIs and metrics for Vice-Chancellors. And he explained to me his view of the performance indices for the Vice-Chancellor, for me, might be like this. You do your job, you're here at the end of the year. You don't, you're gone. How about that? I'm happy, the Chancellor's happy, I think. Fine with me. April 7 is a great day in history, and it's a great day here in this hall. The testimony you will shortly hold in your hands marks not just your academic credentials, but your dedication, your perseverance, your strength of character to pursue your dreams, improve your understanding of the world, and allow your curiosity to be satisfied. I urge you to be prepared to use this degree you have earned today and your experiences at Macquarie University to sometimes follow paths to success, even though you cannot control the destination. Be prepared to use the degree and your experiences here with us to give you courage to cross the bridges you encounter, even though you cannot see the other side and what it brings. And finally, use your degree and your experiences as a Macquarie University student to find happiness for yourselves and in the service of others. Congratulations to you all again. My wish for you all as you cross the next bridge of life and leave us is for great professional success, profound personal and professional fulfillment, and most of all, lives filled with happiness. I leave you with the words of that great international diplomat, Dag Hammarskjöld, who incidentally became the Director General of the United Nations on this day in the year 1953. Dag Hammarskjöld, for all that has been, thank you. For all that has to come, yes. Chancellor, thank you.
Well, graduands, I think after an occasional address like that, you can see why we did offer Bruce Doughton the Vice-Chancellor's role 2.5 years ago. It was a very wise decision by the university's governing body, and we're very fortunate not only to have had him as our Vice-Chancellor, but I think we're also very fortunate to have had him deliver the occasional address this afternoon, and an excellent address it was. I might say he only had 2 hours' notice that he would be filling in this afternoon. Next time he has to fill in, I'm only going to give him half an hour's notice, and we'll see how he goes. Bruce, thank you once again. I think he deserves another great round of applause. Well, we now come to the key part of the ceremony, the reason we're here, and that's the conferring of degrees. And it's the only part of the ceremony which makes me a bit nervous, because many, many years ago I was told by the then Chief Justice of New South Wales that if I conferred a degree on someone who was not entitled to receive it, there was nothing I could do to take it back. So we, this afternoon, have the Deputy Vice-Chancellor and Registrar, Deirdre Anderson, here, and I'm going to ask her to give me an assurance in just a moment or two, and that is to assure me that none of you were ever late in submitting an assignment, none of you ever missed a lecture, and otherwise you are all eligible to graduate today. Deirdre.
Chancellor, I certify that all the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees and diplomas they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees and diplomates please stand?
Graduands, in the name of the Council of Macquarie University and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees and diplomas for which you have qualified. Graduates, congratulations.
Will you please be seated? Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Arts. Students and staff in this faculty work together within and across disciplinary boundaries to ask questions about socially complex problems, identify paths of research, analyse and communicate ideas in creative formats, and reflect on the skills and knowledge they will need to understand the world, both past and present. Students are encouraged to use their skills and talents to connect with local and global communities. This faculty includes research and study areas in ancient history, anthropology, English, Indigenous studies, international studies, law, media, music, communication and cultural studies, modern history, politics and international relations, philosophy, sociology, policing and intelligence, and counter-terrorism. I now call on Professor Martina Mollering, the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Arts, to present the graduates and diplomats. Professor Mollering.
Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Arts whom you have admitted to degrees. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the Bachelor of Science, Nicola Marie Hauer. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Aisha Amira Abdul. Patrick Joseph Abela. Tina Alcorace. Jeremy Arimado. Bulgarian Bailey Maloney. Camelia Barakat. Stephen Barobio. Taryn Bryan. Yutan Chang. Paul Chekaluk. Megan Pei Wen Chu. Tommy Siputra. Renee Jordan Copcroft. Sunny Daniele. Eliana Moraes Alves de Souza. Will Dalla Libera. John Chu Deng. Stephanie Domazet. Ramon Echevarria. Andrew Leonard Feeney. Jessica Lee Ferraro. Nicolas Floratos. Edward Fox. Monica Fraga. Bryce Gleason. Geraldine Grew. Ozan Hamjoglu. Reginald Sanjeev Timothy Harris. Tian Heath. Veronica Hechterin-Jovwa. Elana Grace Hickman. Lucy Kate Horton. Lindsay Sutton Hunt. Esther Cabrera Kamikaze. Thomas Christopher Kell. Natapop Kaitsamut. Olivia Kiedal. Niall Chris Kumar. Quang Lit Kwan. Chi Yan Lai. Alexandra Zoe Lara. Xin Nguyen Lao. Xian Lee. Yuk In Ri. Courtney Levin. Shen Xingli. Jennifer Yang Ding Lee. Siona Lee. Lakaya Lyons. Isabella Macquarie. Hadil Magarev. Lauren McCarroll. Kevin McLaren. Regia Meng. Jackson Miller. Nicholas Molteno. Marina Linda Murazzo. Beninia Rachel Murdy. Lara Jane Newell. Mabel Ngon. Zachary Douglas Hodges. Nina O'Keefe. Kirsty Michelle Oliver. Bradley Owens. Jessica Mary Pearson. Emma Raby. Vivienne Shelley Selwyn. Kay Sito. Sosi Sevaslian. Prajin Chi. Monique Shippen. Brittany L. Smith. William Henry Soden. Emily Grace Straney. Viola Bagina Teremwa. Cassandra Jinlan Teo. Joshua Gregory Towers. Michael Toomey. Louise Ellison Walker. Christine Wolfe. Hailam Michelle Wong. Jiadi Wu. Yi Wen Xin. Hiwi Sen Yia. Hiwi Sen Yia. Shi Chen Yu. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts Media. Afika Maria Abdul Mohid. Lara Yolanda Allen. Lachlan David Anderson. Blake Barlow Entribus. Melissa Veronica Barham. Athanasia Vathopoulos. Jake Kenneth Banks. Jack Wesley Bartlett. Samuel Christian Bauermeister. Thomas Michael Bergen. Alicia Enberg. Melinda Butkasaka. Tina Burke. Christine N. Kakamo. Georgiana Navapon Campbell. Anthony Casa. Lilia Chi Sanson. Aaron Christie. Sterling Coates. Sarah Cooks. Madison Colgate. Casey Louise Cunningham. Stephanie Dalkel. Lillian Davis. Olivia Margaret Dent. Nicola Donovan. Joel Andrew Lawrence Evans. Danielle Fanuli. Shadiel Fayyad. Tara Ferguson. Benjamin Gahan. Danielle Marie George. Jacqueline Green. Stephanie Harrison. Christopher Benjamin Hayslip. Laura Jane Hoskins. Georgia Francis Hunter. Hossan Samuel Ib. Adele Linda Jeffries. Emma Louise Jewell. Nicholas Anthony Johnson. Sophia Kobacker. Melody Wan Yao Cook. Anthony Thomas Kwang. Rebecca Helen Lubba. Tracy Kim Leung. Chelsea Levin. Yen Yang Lee. Lauren Wei Jin Lim. Isabel Littler. Alana Emma Lucci. Cameron Montgomery Ludovique. Amanda Marney. Amelia McGrath. Gabrielle Claire Miles. Brandon Modini. Lelahono Hofense Moreane. Kate Moore. Sean Patrick Moran. Jordan Murray. Michael David Norsa. Benjamin Noor. John Paul Mariano Panarello. Chelsea Eliza Parker. Jeffrey Parker. Kevin Kwok. Alisa Naomi Ramjan. Brendan Ridley. Douglas Ian Roberts. Jonathan Saad. Sophia Sharma. Rachel Sharp. Sasha Simon. Daniel Joseph Sindoni. Sejun Chung. Nicholas Lachlan Stillman. Alice Stubbs. Shakil Levi Lamour Sumra. Roberta Delenia Whitford. Jane Williacharanpat. Thomas Samuel Williams. Justin Yip. Andreas Zimmermann. Huaming Tong. Jacob James Jeffrey Burchett. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of International Communication with the Master of International Relations. Duncan Peter Fredericks. Hemin Zhang. Nguyen Tan Kiet Lai. Haruna Uhue. Nicholas James Seeley. Nicole Slack. Siobhan Bronwyn Widui McCorn. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Arts. Deborah Leslie Brownlow. Yue Wang. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of International Communication. Alpha Azu. Jing Lin. Carrie Joy Saidi. Chiyoung Wang. Tse Shu Shu. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Research. Rebecca Mary Dunn for a thesis entitled Twitter and the Transformation of the Public Sphere, an analysis of asylum seeker narratives in the new media landscape. Jessica Lee Kirkness for a thesis entitled Disabling the Hearing Line, Deafness, Deaf Studies and Creative Nonfiction. Gemma Roberts for a thesis entitled Reconceptualizing Gendered Play, Subjectivity, Decision-Making and Resistance in Video Games. Lachlan Douglas Wormsley for a thesis entitled An Evolutionary Decoupled Representation. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Valentina Bow for a thesis entitled Communication for Development and Peacebuilding, Participatory Media for Conflict Transformation and Reconciliation After Civil Violence. Dr. Anthony Llewellyn Davis for a thesis entitled What Can You Do for the Reader? The Literary Effects of the Second-Person Narrative Voice. Dr. Corinne Elizabeth Ellie Harper for a thesis entitled Close to the Bone, Staging Family Memory on Film. Dr. Catherine Elizabeth Knight for a thesis entitled Strange Country, Explorations Through the Territories of Motherhood and Child Disability. Dr. Natalie Teresa Lewandowski for a thesis entitled Behind the Sounds, The Evolution of Film Soundtrack Roles in Australia and New Zealand. Dr. Lindy Joan McDougall for a thesis entitled The Biometrical Vulva, A Clean Slit. Chancellor, that completes this afternoon's presentation of the graduates from the Faculty of Arts.
Chancellor, I call on Mr. Duncan Fredericks, who has graduated today with a Master of International Communications, with a Master of International Relations, to give the graduate response on behalf of the graduating group. Mr. Fredericks.
Thank you, Chancellor, members of the university, fellow graduates and guests. First, I want to extend a big congratulations to all the graduates here today. Well done, we did it. I'm sure if you were like me, there were many times when we were furiously essay writing the night before or madly scrawling key concepts before an exam when you thought maybe this day might not come. But here we are, and it is a testament to ourselves for meeting the challenges set before us. It is also testament to the wonderful people who have helped us to get to this point. To our professors, lecturers, tutors, and support staff, thank you. Thank you for encouraging us, for imparting your wisdoms, and for inspiring us to question and seek more about the world we live in. To our parents, siblings, friends, roommates, and colleagues, thank you for the support you've given us. Whether it was proofreading essays, being a sounding board for dissertation topics, an encouraging word to motivate us, or in my case, a car full of groceries to replenish my sad pantry, a very sincere and heartfelt thanks. Your support has made this achievement possible. I consider myself very lucky to have been able to spend the last 5 years at Macquarie Uni. I feel honoured to have been given the opportunity to learn in world-class facilities, renowned for their outstanding international connections and partnerships. These international connections present students with an amazing opportunity to learn from and with people all over the world. The International Studies Department was why I originally applied for Macquarie. I've been lucky enough to participate in exchange programs in South America and Spain, and these have had profound impacts on both my learning and who I am today. Here on campus, being able to partake in tutorial discussions with students from every corner of the world gives students unique insight and opportunity to expand the ways of thinking. The thing that I will take away as most important from my time in Macquarie is the necessity to ask questions. Throughout our studies, we learned that questioning and critical thinking inspire innovation and progress. We learn to see the world both as it is and how it could or should be. So some questions for the graduates here today. What will you become? What will you do with these newfound skills and experiences? The answers to these are important, but even more important is that we remember to continue asking these and remain devoted to learning more about the world, about ourselves, and how we can improve both. Congratulations, graduates, and thank you.
Well done, Duncan, and congratulations on your 2 master's degrees, Master of International Communication and Master of International Relations. That's quite an accomplishment. And just because you've been here for 5 years doesn't mean you can't come back for another 5. There's always a PhD or 2 or 3. So we hope that you have a very long association with Macquarie, and I wish you all the very best for the future. Well done.
languisce il cor.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Yolanda Lorenzato who was singing for us, and I think you'll agree we were very fortunate to have Yolanda here at this graduation ceremony this afternoon. And we've been fortunate too to have our musicians over there, Dr. James Forsyth on the organ and our trumpeter Melanie McLaughlin. Please join with me in thanking all three. I'd also like to take the opportunity of thanking our alumni volunteers, most of whom are sitting over there today. There's a couple over there. They come along to our graduations to help out and make sure that your graduation goes smoothly. So I think they deserve a round of applause as well. Well, graduates, this ceremony marks the end of one stage in your relationship with Macquarie University, but it is certainly not the end of your association with Macquarie. From today on, for the rest of your lives, you are part of the bigger Macquarie family, which is our alumni, and part of the network of 150,000 Macquarie alumni spanning the globe. We'll keep in touch with you through our alumni program, which is focused on lifelong learning, lifelong support and lifelong connections. Our commitment to you is to help you keep engaged and in touch with Macquarie throughout your life. And please do make sure to come back to Macquarie, either to undertake more study, to attend alumni events, or perhaps just use our aquatic and fitness facilities. Well, now graduates, the award of a university degree carries many opportunities and privileges. But like all privileges, it also carries responsibilities. Believe it or not, you, each and every one of you, can change the world. And you don't have to be a Nobel Prize winner to do it either, because almost everything you do in your homes, in your workplaces, and in your communities matters and can make a huge difference. The consequences of every effort, every action, large or small, can reverberate throughout society, through the decades, indeed the centuries. Even something as simple as a kind word or a kind gesture can often be the spark that ignites a great life or a great career or a great achievement. So as Chancellor of Macquarie University, I charge you to use what you have learned, not only for your own benefit, but also for the betterment of the community. I charge you to use the skills and knowledge you have acquired with rigour and integrity, and to commit yourselves to a program of lifelong learning and inquiry. I charge you to recognise the worth and dignity of all people, particularly those who have not had the opportunities that you have enjoyed. I charge you to set high goals and to continue the hard work that has brought you so far. I charge you, wherever you go, to go with all your heart. And in all you do, I charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. Now, graduates, I hope that you'll also always remember the people who helped you along the way, many of whom, of course, are here with you today. So to acknowledge their contribution and thank them for it, I'm now going to ask you to do a couple of things for me. First, graduates, would you please stand? Now I'd like you to put your degrees on the seats behind you so that your hands are free, and I'd like you to turn around to face your families and friends. And now I invite you to give them a mighty round of applause. Well, graduates, you can turn around now, but don't sit down because we'll be leaving in just a moment. Here on the dais behind me are representatives of our academic staff who've also supported you throughout your journey at Macquarie, and I'm sure you'd like to put your hands together to thank them as well. Ladies and gentlemen, shortly I will lead the official party out through the centre aisle, and it will be my great honour to invite all of you to join with our newest graduates and join us for refreshments overlooking the lake. Well, graduates, I wish you the very best for the future, and in the words of the old Irish blessing, may the road rise up to meet you, may the wind always be at your back, may the sun shine warm upon your face and rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Graduates, good luck.
The official